Hi, Scorpio and Scorpio. This reading is for double Scorpios. If you're a Scorpio dealing with a Scorpio, or if you're a Scorpio with Scorpio placements, this you'll read it. Let's see what the universe had. Ooh, child. Knight of Wands. I can't even get it out my mouth. Ooh, Seven of Swords. Nine of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Holy Moses. Is that the High Priestess? It's the High Priestess. Ooh, the Ace of Wands. Would you look at that? So we open with the Knight of Wands, and we close with the Ace of Wands. Got the Ace of Pentacles there too. Are you fucking kidding me? The third Ace. Whoa. Six of Wands. Five of Cups. Look at that. Seven of Swords is there twice. Six of Pentacles. Two of Swords. What in Sam Hill is going on here? Alright, I gotta get my life in order. Eight of Wands. Oh. Six of Wands. Oh, look at that. Six of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this makes sense completely because I'm like, I don't know if y'all see it, but there's a lot of wands, right? Wand, 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 wand. Ace of Wands, right? On this side. So I kind of feel like one of you is really, really, really wanting to move very quickly, right? You want to move at the speed of light. And the universe is like, no, no, no. Remember what happened last time. There was disappointment in the past because you didn't go slow. But then on one side, you have somebody who's looking back, looking behind. Page of Wands, look at that. The Strength card. Ooh, the Moon. I don't read reversals. Here, let me move these up. And we'll move these up. And Outcome. Ooh, King of Wands. Child. You got the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Two of Swords. I know that's right. I ain't looking over there. So one of you Scorpios I feel like is moving very quickly, right? They developed quick feelings. They want to act quickly. They're clear about what it is that they want. They know they want to move ahead. They know that maybe you're the person that they manifested. Okay. This to me kind of feels like somebody realizing that somebody is the one, and they're trying their hardest to an extent not to just rush towards this one. That's weird. My angel said it's almost like somebody's trying not to pop the question. What question is that? Hey, you want some chicken with me? Right? So it kind of feels like definitely with the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands rushes forward and he rushes back and he rushes back, and that's all he does is rush, right? Everything is just rushed. But I do kind of feel here that definitely here, like in the beginning, kind of like this person's outcome, all of that rushing, all of that speed, all of that high passion, high emotion, high lust, high movement, caused a lot of pain and deceit. And right, again, I always say when you rush towards something, you rush in something, you're gonna have to rush right back out of it. That's who the Knight of Wands is. And I kind of feel like the Seven of Swords, in hindsight, looking back, that's really how I was sabotaging myself. And it caused me a lot of hurt and pain. So therefore, going forward, I'm going to slow poke it like the Knight of Pentacles, because I want to reach my final destination. Okay? So that's one Scorpio. The other one, happy, jovial, looking back at the past, maybe looking back at something someone said to trigger them. Ace of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, Strength card. This person to me kind of feels like they're struggling to move forward. They're struggling to go forward because they're preoccupied with the past. But their preoccupation, that's not correct. Them being preoccupied with the past is actually it could potentially be delaying any future activities or future events. As I look at the moon here, the moon is represent things that are unseen, right? Walking into the unknown. This person is struggling to let go of the past. And I don't think it's necessarily the past with a particular partner. I feel like it's deep repressed emotions. It has everything to do about equality. It has everything to do about whether or not their needs will be met, whether or not they'll actually get what they want from the universe, whether or not they'll be able to actually close out a previous cycle or cycles and actually move on into this new, exciting, profitable cycle. So the best example here is almost like, hey, um, I've been working for the government for the last 20 years and I saved up enough money, but, my daughter needed braces or she went to college and that gutted me and half of my money is gone. So here it's almost like, do I continue to look back at the past at how much I had, right? I keep looking at what I used to have, what I used to owe, what I used to have in my bank account, right? It's almost like looking at the time of the past and mourning it, but the heavy investment in looking back at it is what's actually blocking them from moving forward. So as an example, if you had 300,000 in the bank and your daughter went to fucking Harvard, now you got 87 cents, right? You keep looking back at the 300,000, 300,000, 300,000. You're not even acknowledging the fact that 600,000 is coming ahead of you. You see? So this person here is to me kind of trapped in the past, maybe trapped in a time frame of when they felt good and things looked good and they were excited and they had what they wanted and they could just they had access to almost everything, and then all of a sudden that was gone, that disappeared, right? Page of Wands could be because of a child, right? And now they're having to kind of quote unquote rebuild. And as part of that rebuilding process, a part of rebuilding the process is removing the blinders that are keeping them blind to the future. Those blinders could be, it's almost like they don't want to believe in the future because of what happened to them in the past, right? Somebody basically is not being able to get over something. So if you look at this particular Scorpio, you look at this particular Scorpio, the past is present in this situation, right? Here, this person is trying not to rush like they did in the past because it sabotaged their situation. Seven of Swords here. Here, this person is trying not to, is still mourning over the past, right? And not necessarily looking for the excitement of the future. I hope that makes sense. Now it's up to y'all to figure out which one you is. Okay. Now my angels just said pull out some more cards to start talking through how these two are coming together or how these two can interact with each other. Okay. So that's going to be 3 cards in the middle. So it kind of feels like you both sabotaged yourselves in the past. Now, my angels just said there's a third party in this situation, and that third party is self-sabotaging behavior. Okay? So, how you sabotaged yourself in the past, you're both trying to rectify that. So the universe is now saying, hey, that's why we kind of brought you together. Because again, remember, law of attraction is just a mirror, right? So they had sabotaging behavior, you had sabotaging behavior. Now you're kind of coming together to reverse that sabotaging behavior and come together um, naturally and organically and free from the past. Ooh, child. Revelation. That's the terror. That's Scorpio. If the death card come out here, I'm leaving. I'm gonna stop this reading in its tracks. Nine of Wands. Wow. Ten of Oh, I love this. My angels are saying you guys are coming together to break down these old patterns of sabotaging, right? So the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Swords, the nine in the Tower represent fulfillment. The Nine of Wands is the Nine of Wounds. This person, it's already been identified as to what was hurting them in the past. It was speed, right? This person, what was hurting them in the future was too much emotional sacrifice, right? They clung. Clinged. I gotta enunciate. They clinged, or maybe suffered from what's the term? Codependency. Thank you. They were codependent. Overgave and didn't realize and wasn't healed. I got it. Oh, come on out here, Chariot and a Page of Swords. So I love that. Now that I feel like to an extent, right? Because I feel like that Page of Swords is a revelation, right? It's putting it out there. It's saying the thing, right? And I kind of feel like in this Scorpio dynamic, I do kind of feel like someone will have to say the thing that will just click to make you both realize why you're in each other's lives and what the purpose of each of your roles are, right? They're coming in to show you sabotaging behavior. They're coming in to show you your sabotaging behavior, and you're coming in to show them their self-sabotaging behavior. And again, by you both seeing that and not stinging each other and not battling each other and not projecting on each other and not, um, destroying each other to an extent. It's almost like the Page of Swords is the realization and the realization of the vision of the universal vision. Why are we here? Why are you here? Scorpio, you love to be like, I feel like the universe brought us together. I feel like this is like divine in some sort of way. By the way, it's all fucking divine. Sorry. I feel like I just told you Santa Claus wasn't real. But I feel like Mark Twain, my absolute favorite quote. Two most important days in your life. The day you were born and the day you find out why. This reading was you both discovering why you're in each other's lives, what purpose you have. And I also feel like at the same time that purpose is pretty strong. That purpose is yeah, that makes sense. The purpose is pretty strong. I heard intuitively that it's because you're destined for great things, the both of you, right? But it's almost like you can't get to those great things if there's all of this sabotaging behavior taking place, right? It's almost like here's the finish line, and here you are, Scorpio, and then all of a sudden you trip over your shoe that's been untied for the last 3 fucking miles. And then all of a sudden you trip, you fall over, you scrape your knee, you break your leg. You can't get over the finish line. You see what I mean? That's the self-sabotaging behavior I feel like that's been going on between the both of you. And I feel like today, right? You were today years old when you found out why and how you're sabotaging yourselves and your future and your connections and your jobs and your friends and your relationship with family. And now that you've understood that self-sabotaging behavior, you can stop it, get across the finish line, receive your accolades and glory and compensation and rewards and awards and enlightenment and growth and power and strength. You can receive all of those finally, instead of being on the other side of the finish line crying. And I always get to this point, like every time I can never get over the finish line because my fucking shoe. First off, you got slip-ons on, right? That's what self-sabotaging behavior is. Self-sabotaging behavior mourns an action that you are in control over, right? I can never get across the finish line because every time I get here, I get hot and I start sweating and I pass out. Drink more water. Okay? So it's an action or a habit that you are doing to yourself. That moon card, for some of y'all don't even know how you're sabotaging situations. Your job. Every time you do a good job, the bosses start to sing your praises. Then all of a sudden, you're about to be up for a promotion and you quit. And then you cry to the universe, how come I can't never get a promotion? That is the essence, the purest example of self-sabotaging behavior that I can come up with this afternoon. And I feel like for some of you, the universe is wanting you to correct your actions, because for however long that you've been self-sabotaging is however long, and how your abundance and prosperity is just backing up. It's growing. It's growing. You saw the Ace of Pentacles, right? So it's almost like the universe is trying to get you this pentacle and get you across the line to give you this pentacle. But for a lot of you, there's always something that's holding you back. And I feel like, again, whomever this person is who's coming into your life, they're trying to teach you what it is that you're doing that's holding yourself back. Mic drop. I'm out. If it resonates, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll try to do these again every Monday. Not sure when this one is going to post because of YouTube. But I love y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hype. And I'll see y'all in a week. Love you. Bye.